What's up, dudes? I'm the Dominicator, and in this video, I'm going to hypnotize you to Idolize the Hypnotist. As in all of my videos, you'll be asked to leave a comment at the end while hypnotized, so go ahead and log into an account that you can use for that. Mute any distractions, and continue when you're ready to get hypnotized. Now to begin, I just want you to look at the spiral in front of you, and gaze into the very center of that spiral as you follow it with your eyes. And as you do, then you might notice that as you look into it, that it begins to relax you. And that the more that you look at it, the more that it relaxes the mind, and the more that it relaxes the body as well. And as you follow it with your eyes, as it goes back and forth, then you may notice that it begins to exert a kind of magnetism on you, as if it begins to draw the eyes right toward the center of it. And as that happens, you'll also feel a very pleasant feeling. And it just feels so good to feel that magnetism, that magnetic force. And you may also feel a mind-melting sensation as well, just as if the spiral is melting away. All of the thoughts, all of the cares, and all the worries inside of the mind. And then, as it happens, it just feels so good. And it feels so good just to feel that mind-melting feeling. And you might even feel waves of pleasantness that seem to be emanating from the spiral in front of you. Waves of pleasantness that travel out through the entire body, and through the mind as well. As you feel those wonderful waves of pleasantness, and as you feel that magnetism, as the eyes are drawn even more into the center of the spiral, you might even find that it's becoming so strong that you don't even want to look away from it. And that's just fine, because you don't have to. All that you have to do is just to continue to follow it with your eyes, and continue to relax, and feel those wonderful waves of pleasure coursing throughout the entire mind, as you feel that wonderful, mind-melting feeling. And it might even seem as if all the cares and the worries inside the mind are just being drawn right out of you, and right into the spiral in front of you. And it just feels so good just to feel that wonderful and carefree feeling as you continue to relax and just look at the spiral right in front of you. And I want you to continue to focus your eyes on it, even as you might feel a heaviness inside of the eyelids. Just continue to look right into the center of it. And while I'm going to snap my fingers and say the word sleep, and when I do, those eyes are just going to close down and shut down all by themselves, as the mind just shuts down into an even deeper state of relaxation, into an even deeper state of mind-melted pleasure. And when you do go down, when you do drop down, sink down to that state, it's just going to feel so good, even better than you feel now. But until then, I just want you to continue to keep your eyes on the spiral as you listen to the sound of my voice. And now I just want you to draw your attention and draw your mind toward your breathing. And as you look at the spiral in front of you, I just want you to take in a nice and deep and even breath in. And as you breathe in, I just want you to feel the stresses and the tensions inside of your body. And as you breathe out, just relax those stresses and tensions. And you'll find that the more that you simply breathe in very deeply and evenly, and breathe out, the more that you just relax the body. And when the body relaxes just automatically all by itself. And the more that you'll find that the mind relaxes as well. And it just feels so good just to breathe in nice and clean air, and to breathe out all the toxins inside of the body. And it just feels so good. And so all that I want you to do is just to continue to breathe very deeply and very evenly. The more that you do so, and the more that you just relax automatically and involuntarily, and the more that the body just relaxes all by itself, and the more that the mind follows as well. Now I just want you to listen to the sound of my voice. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, then you'll notice what a relaxing and a pleasant tone that it has about it. It just feels so good to listen to the sound of my voice, just as if each and every single word that I say, like a little drop of pleasure, dripping down and dropping down on the mind. And you may even feel little tiny drips and drops and waves of pleasure over the body as well, as you continue to breathe very deeply as you listen to the sound of my voice, just as if my voice were made of pure waves of pleasure, and they were just washing over you, washing over the mind, and washing over the body as well. And you may even find that the sound of my voice has a kind of magnetism about it that just draws your ears along with it. And you may find that you can just allow the mind to drift away as you listen to it. That even as it fades into the background, that there's always a part of the mind that can listen to and absorb the sound of my voice and my words, as they just sink even deeper down and go even deeper down into the unconscious mind, where they become a part of you. And that just feels so good, just to allow that sound, the sound of my voice, just to sink down and go down even deeper into the mind. And in fact, the more that you listen to the sound of my voice, the better and better that you feel. The more that you notice all of the good and all of the positive qualities from it, the more that you notice a pleasant tone from the sound of my voice, the more that you notice a nice pitch from it, and the more that you notice a wonderful and warm and masculine and dominant sound from the sound of my voice, and that just makes you want to go down, to drop down, and to sink down even further into a state of relaxation. And this makes you want to allow the mind to drift away and to dream, even as the sound of my voice just fades into the background and becomes a part of you. And that just feels so good that all I want you to do is just to relax to the sound of my voice even more so, and just to feel that magnetism as you continue to listen to it. And in fact, the more that you feel that magnetism, the more that you feel that influence and that impact from the sound of my voice, and more, and you want to feel it. And the more that you want to feel it, the stronger and stronger that it becomes. And it just feels so good just to listen to it in the background of your mind, even as you allow the mind just to drift away and to dream. And that's all you have to do, and it's just to relax as you listen to the sound of my voice. And the more that you listen to my voice, the more that you can feel even a feeling of attraction and a kind of pull from my voice. And that just makes you want to sink down even further into it. That just makes you want to feel that influence and that impact even more. And that makes you feel an even greater degree of admiration for it. And that just makes you want to continue to listen to it, and continue to sink into it, and to continue to feel those wonderful waves of pleasure from the sound of my voice as they drip down and drop down. Little bits of pleasure on you with each and every single word that I say. And you'll find that to feel a feeling in the body, a feeling of attraction, a feeling that continues to grow inside of you more and more, each and every word that I say. And that's all that I want you to do, is just to allow that feeling to spread throughout the body, throughout the mind. And as you continue to listen, and the more that you do so, the more that you just want to receive my suggestions. And the more that you receive them, the more that you want to follow them. And the more that you follow them, the more that you want to receive them. And that all just feels so good just to listen to my voice, just to sink down and drop down, even deeper into it, and into a deep state of relaxation and pleasantness. And as you listen to me, and as you sink into and soak in the sound of my voice, it makes you call to mind a dominant male authority figure, somebody that you admire. And maybe it was a friend of yours, or maybe a boyfriend, a teacher, a mentor, or perhaps a master. And as you just imagine that feeling of admiration, and it seems to rise up and to bubble up inside of you, and the more that I speak to you, the more that you can feel that feeling spread throughout the body and throughout the mind. And it just feels so good. It feels so good just to feel that feeling of attraction and rise up and bubble up inside of you more and more with each and every word that I say. And it just feels so good that you can relax down, and then you can sink down, and then you can go down even further into it. And the further down that you go into it, the more that you can just sink into and soak into that feeling, the better and better that it feels. And the more relaxed that you feel, just sinking down into that feeling. It's just like a feeling of love, a feeling of adoration that you feel. A wonderful, pleasant, and mind-melting feeling. A feeling that you can just feel, and you don't even have to think at all. All that you have to do is just to sink down, and go down, and float down into it, as you allow the mind just to enter a nice and dreamy and drifting state. And by now you feel a feeling of dreaminess that has settled over the mind, a feeling of profound relaxation that has settled over the body, a feeling of heaviness that's come over the body that continues to increase with each and every word that I say. As if each and every word that I say, we're dropping little tiny bits and pieces of lead on top of the body, little tiny bits and pieces of lead on top of the eyelids as well. And in a moment, I'm going to snap my fingers. And when I do, the eyelids are just going to shut down. They're going to go down, drop down as you go down and drop down and sink down even deeper into that wonderful state. Because when the eyes do close, you can feel even better. You can sink down even more. And you can soak even more in the sound of my voice, and that wonderful and pleasant, warm and masculine and dominant tone of my voice. And I'll feel the eyelids just become so heavy, and you don't even want to hold them up at all. The mind just becomes so heavy that you don't even want to hold it up at all. All you want to do is just to go down and drop down and sink down into that wonderful state now. Man, sleep. Sleep. Sleep as you go down, as you drop down, as you sink down even further into the sound of my voice. And as you sink down, you might even imagine that you can feel the sound of my voice all around you, just as if you were sinking down into a swimming pool, just as if the sound of my voice were wrapping around you and curling around you on all sides of the body, a wonderful and silky smooth texture that just makes you want to sink down even further into it. Man, it just feels so warm, and so masculine, so dominant. That it presses against the outside of your mind. And as it does so, all you want to do is just to feel that feeling even more so. All you want to do is just to take in more suggestions. All you want to do when you take those in is just to follow them. Man, that makes you want to receive commands as well. Man, just makes you want to feel that domination even more so. Each and every time that you receive a command, all you want to do is just to follow that command. And then whenever you do follow that command, all you want to do is just to receive more. And that all just feels so good. And it makes you want to go down even further into that state, into that submissive and obedient, mind-melted state. A state of mind in which all that you want to do, all that you can think about, is just obeying those commands. And the more that you do obey them, the more that you sink down under that domination. And the more that you do, the more that I assume the role of your master. And that thought, that idea that you have a master, a dominant male that you can obey, that just feels so good. And all you want to do is to sink down, to go down, to drop down even further into that domination, and into that obedient and submissive state of mind. It just feels so good. And it's all that you can think about. And the more that you think about it, the better that it feels, and the better that you feel. And the more that you feel comfortable just sinking down, dropping down, and going down into that obedient and submissive state of mind. A state of mind in which all you want to do is just to obey your master. And each and every time that I say that word obey, or that I say the word master, that gives you a wonderful spine-tingling sensation all the way from the very bottom of the tailbone to the very tip-top of your head. A wonderful and tingly sensation all inside of the mind. I guess it just feels so good just to have a master. And it just feels so good just to feel each and every single word that I say dominating you even more so. And you can feel that force and that pressure from the sound of my voice, the magnetism from the sound of my voice as it reaches even further into the mind. And it feels as if each and every single word that I say is dominating you even more so. even more with each and every single word. And as you feel that domination with each and every word, you feel even better and better. And you can feel my power even more so. You can feel my influence even more so. More and more, until it wraps around your entire mind, all around the entire body, and all around the brain. Man, that just feels so good to feel that power, and to feel that influence over you. Man, the more that you feel that power, and that dominance from the sound of my voice, the more that you can feel that feeling of admiration, rising up and bubbling up inside of you. And the more that you feel it for the sound of my voice, and for me, for your master, man, that just feels so good to hold that feeling in your mind, and to feel that feeling inside of your body. And in fact, it may even seem as if the sound of my voice is drawing that feeling out of you. It's as if the sound of my voice were drawing a feeling, and it feels so much like a feeling of love inside of your body, right out. And the more that you feel that feeling, the more that you feel a mind-melting sensation, a mind-melting feeling as well. Because you don't have to think at all about any of this. All that you have to do is just to sink down and to go down even further into that feeling, to allow that feeling of adoration, to allow that feeling of admiration just rise up and bubble up inside of you. And the further down that you sink into it, the better and better that you feel. The more than all you want to do is just to take in the sound of my voice and to feel that wonderful feeling of dominance and domination all around you, all around the body, and all around the mind. Man, the more that you sink into that feeling, the more than all you want to do is just to obey and to serve and to worship your master. It just feels so good to do so. It just feels so good. The thought of pleasing your master, the thought of serving your master, the thought of making your master happy. That is just such a good feeling. That's all that you want to do. And you love the thought of worshiping your master. And you love the thought of praising your master. And you love to think about your master. And that just all feels so good, because you know that it's an act that pleases him. And not only do you like to praise me in your mind, just as if you were praying, but also in everything that you say as well. And not only to me, but to everyone that you feel would appreciate your master. It feels so good just to worship me, and just to praise me inside of your own mind, and in everything that you say about me as well. It just feels so good just to bow down to me, to bow down to my will, man, to humble yourself in front of your master. And in fact, it's such a good and such an awesome feeling, and nothing else feels better. And as you do so, you could just allow the entire mind to melt down, to drip down and to drop down. You don't have to think about anything at all. All you have to do is just to take in the commands, the suggestions of your master, and just to continue to obey, and to serve, and to worship, and to idolize him. That's all that you have to do. And the more that you do so, the more that you'll want to do so. And the more that you do, the better and better that you feel. The more that you feel a sense of purpose, and the more that you feel a sense of calm inside of you. It's just as if you're bowing down to, just as if you're worshipping a god. And in fact, the more that you think about it, the further down you sink under my dominance, the more and more that's exactly what it feels like. And the more that you feel like you're living a purpose, living for your master, and just admiring and adoring and idolizing your master. And the more that you do it, the more that you want to do it, the more that compulsion just forms inside your mind, and just pops inside of your mind. And the more the thoughts of your master just pop inside of your mind all by themselves, when that happens, that just feels so good as well. Because you know that is influence, that's the dominance of your master manifesting itself inside of your mind. And that just feels so good, just knowing that you've been dominated by your master. But now in a moment, in a little while, I'm going to count you up. And as I count you up, you're going to feel a wonderful feeling inside of the body and inside of the mind as you feel energy coming back inside of you. Energy coming up and rising up inside the body, and energy coming back into the mind as well. And when you do come all the way back up, you'll be in a nice, half awake and half asleep state. And all you want to do and all you can think about is just worshipping your master. And you'll feel the compulsion, you'll feel the desire to like this video. Because you like your master. Not only that, but you worship your master. And you'll subscribe if you haven't already. This would just feel so good. Just to please your master, just to serve, and to worship your master. And not only that, but you'll leave a comment for me. A comment at the end of the video. And in that comment, then you'll say, Master Dominic is God. I want you to leave a comment, and in that comment, then you'll say, Master Dominic is God. Because that's exactly how you feel. And it just feels so good, just bowing down to, just worshipping a God. And that's exactly what it feels like. That's exactly what your master feels like. It's a completely and totally all-powerful, masculine, dominant God. And the more that you think about it, the better. And the better that you feel about it, the better that you feel about just bowing down to my will, worshipping and serving me. Now, I'm going to count you up. I'm going to count you up from 1 to 5. And as I count you up, you're going to feel an awesome feeling of energy surging back and rising back up into the body, and into the mind as well. And it's just going to feel so good as I wake you up. And once I reach 5 and I snap my fingers, and your eyes will open, and then you'll be wide awake, and you'll feel just great. And now, beginning with 1, as you're going to come up, to rise back up. And 2, coming up even further and even faster. And 3, just feeling great. So good. I'm ready to wake up. And 4, we're almost there. And now, 5, my eyes open and wide awake. Alright dudes, like, subscribe, and check out Dominicator.com to visit my t-shirt store, commission a video, or to schedule an appointment with me to get hypnotized. You can also leave me a tip, buy me a gift, or check out my digital downloads for sale. Catch you later, dudes.